She was a billionaire daughter with a broken heart. He was a poor driver just trying to survive. But when fate brought them together, a love story was born. One filled with secrets, betrayal, and a twist no one saw coming. What happened next will shock you. Anita Odogwu lived in a big house in Onitsha. Her father, Chief Odogwu, owned many buses and lorries. People called him the transport king. Anita wore fine clothes and had drivers and cooks, but her heart was not happy. Anita was the only child. She was a little big in size, and people often made fun of her when they thought she could not hear. One evening, she sat on the wide balcony and watched the streetlights. Her friend Ngozi came to visit. "Anita, you look sad again," Ngozi said. "I am fine," Anita replied, though her eyes were wet. Ngozi touched her hand. "You are still thinking about Unoma." Anita's face tightened. "That man took my love and my land. He called me fat and slow. He sold my shares when I trusted him. I cannot forget." Ngozi shook her head. "He was a thief of hearts. But you are free now." "I do not want any man again," Anita said. "They only see my father's money. They laugh at my body. I will stay alone." Just then, a loud knock came at the gate. Chief Odogwu's voice followed. "Anita, my daughter, come inside. Night is near." Anita stood, but her mind stayed heavy. In the dark sky, she thought she saw a shadow move near the far corner of the compound. She looked again. The shadow was gone. In another part of Onitsha, a young man named Ekene sat on a wooden stool outside a small room. His rent was due, and his stomach was empty. He spoke to his friend Chuka. "3 years since I finished school," Ekene said. "No job, no help," Chuka sighed. "My uncle says the market is dry. Maybe you should leave town." "And go where?" Ekene asked. "I will not beg, I will work." The next morning, Ekene walked past a driving school. A board outside read, "Learn to drive, pay small, small." He stopped and thought, "I can do this." Weeks later, after hard training, he got his license. One hot afternoon, his phone buzzed. "Is this Ekene?" a deep voice asked. "Yes, sir." "This is Chief Odogwu's office. Come tomorrow for a driver test." The next day, Ekene wore his cleanest shirt. At the big yard, other drivers whispered. "Who is this quiet man?" one asked. "He looks like a bookman," another said. Chief Odogwu arrived, his eyes sharp like a hawk. "You can drive?" the chief asked. "Yes, sir," Ekene said. "Show me." Ekene started the big car. He moved smooth and steady through the yard. He did not talk or look around. When he stopped, the chief gave a small nod. "You will drive my company bus first," the chief said. "If you work well, bigger work will come. But if you steal or lie, you are gone." "I will not fail you, sir," Ekene replied. Days turned into weeks. Ekene came early, washed the cars and worked late. He spoke little, but he noticed everything. Some workers began to wonder. One night, as he locked the garage, he heard a quiet sound near the back fence, like someone watching. He turned, but the yard was empty. Soon after, the chief called him again. "Ekene, from today you are my personal driver. Do not break my trust." Ekene bowed his head. "Thank you, sir." As he walked home under the moon, he felt a strange pull in his chest. He did not know that his next passenger would change his life forever. The sun was bright that morning when Chief Odogwu called. "Ekene, drive my daughter to Enugu. She has her ICAN exam. Take good care of her," he said. "Yes, sir," Ekene replied. He cleaned the black Jeep until it shone. Anita came out in a blue dress, holding her exam papers. She looked at Ekene and then at the car. "Good morning," she said softly. "Good morning, madam," Ekene answered. They drove out of the compound. At first, only the sound of the engine filled the air. Anita stared out the window. Ekene kept his eyes on the road. After some time, Anita turned. "Driver, what is your name again?" "My name is Ekene," he said. "You speak good English," she said. "Thank you, madam." "Don't call me madam." "Call me Anita." Ekene gave a small smile. "All right, Anita." They passed tall trees and small markets. A group of children waved at the car. "Do you have brothers or sisters?" Anita asked. "I have 2 younger sisters." "They stay with my mother in the village," Ekene replied. "You went to school?" "Yes, I studied business management." Anita looked surprised. "And you drive cars?" "I waited for work for 3 years," he said. "No job came. I had to feed myself." Anita was quiet for a while. Then she said, "You are brave." Ekene glanced at her and said, "Life is not about where you start. It is about what you do with what you have." Anita felt a warm feeling inside. She smiled, a true smile she had not felt in months. The road to Enugu seemed shorter after that. 3 weeks later, Anita was back home after the exam. One evening, she heard a knock at her gate. "Who is it?" she asked. "It is me, Unama," a deep voice said. Her heart jumped. She opened the small window. "What do you want?" "I came to say sorry," he said. "Let me in." "I can change. No, leave now," Anita said firmly. Unoma's voice grew hard. "You cannot throw me away. I was your husband. Go before I call my father," she warned. But late that night, as Anita walked to her room, she heard the gate creak. The door burst open. Unoma stood there, eyes wild. "You will listen to me," he shouted. "Leave me," Anita cried. He grabbed her arm. She struggled. In the fight she fell, hitting her head on the table. Blood ran down her forehead. Neighbors shouted outside, "Help! Help!" Unoma ran into the dark before the guards came. At the hospital, Chief Odogwu stood by her bed, face hard. "That man will pay for this," he said. He called Ekene. "Stay with my daughter. Do not leave her side until she is strong again." Every day Ekene brought food from the house cook. He sat by her bed. "You do not deserve this pain," he said quietly. Anita looked at him, her eyes soft. "Thank you for staying with me." Ekene smiled. "You are safe now. I will not let anyone hurt you again." When Anita closed her eyes that night, she felt a strange peace. For the first time since the attack, she slept without fear. Anita stayed in the hospital for many days. Ekene came every morning with food from the house cook. He helped her sit up and told small funny stories about his village. One evening the room was quiet. The nurse had left. Only the sound of the ceiling fan moved the air. Anita looked at Ekene and said, "You are kind, Ekene. You make me laugh again." Ekene smiled, his eyes gentle. "You will laugh more when you are strong," he said. Anita tilted her head. "Why do you care so much?" "You are only my father's driver. I care because you are a good person," Ekene answered. "No one should go through what you went through." For a long time they said nothing. Anita felt safe for the first time in years. Days later, the doctor said she could go home. Ekene came to take her. As the car rolled out of the hospital gate, Anita turned to him. "Tell me about your life," she asked. "I finished school," he said. "I wanted office work, but no one called me. So I chose to drive." "It is honest work," Anita nodded. "Call me Anita, not Madam. I like when you say my name." Ekene looked at her and said softly, "All right, Anita." Back at the house, they began to meet in the evenings. First, they walked around the big compound. Later, they sat under the old mango tree. They talked about food, books, dreams, and even fears. Sometimes they stayed until the moon came out. But some nights, Anita thought she saw a dark shape near the fence, like someone watching. When she looked again, nothing was there. Chief Odogwu soon saw that his daughter was different. She laughed more. She hummed while eating. One night after dinner, he called her. "Anita, what is making you so happy these days?" he asked. Anita looked down, but then raised her eyes. "Daddy, there is someone I want you to know." "Who?" the chief asked. "Ekene," she said. "Your driver." Chief Odogwu's face went hard. "A driver? After all the school I paid for? After London? You want to marry a driver?" "Daddy, it is not about money," Anita said quickly. "Ekene respects me. He is good to me." Chief Odogwu stood up. "You will not bring shame to this family." "Think well," Anita's voice trembled, but she did not stop. "I have thought well. I know what I want." The chief walked out without another word. That night he sat alone in his study. He remembered the shadow near the fence he once saw. He wondered if someone was spying on his home. He also wondered if Ekene was hiding something behind his quiet face. The next morning, Chief Odogwu sent a guard to call Ekene. When Ekene entered the office, the chief looked at him for a long time. "You have served me well," he said slowly. "But if you hurt my daughter, I will not forgive you. Do you understand?" "Yes, sir," Ekene said, standing tall. "I will never harm her." The chief kept watching him, searching for a lie. Ekene's face stayed calm. "Go back to work," the chief finally said. As Ekene left, the chief's mind was heavy. He did not know if he could trust this young man who had quietly stepped into his daughter's heart. Chief Odogwu sent a guard to call Ekene. "Tell him to come to my office now," the chief said. Ekene entered and stood straight. The office was quiet. Only the wall clock ticked. Chief Odogwu fixed his sharp eyes on him. "Young man," he began, "you have worked for me many months. You keep time. You do not steal." "I respect that, thank you, sir," Ekene said. The chief's voice grew firm. "But this matter with my daughter is not small. If you hurt Anita, I will deal with you myself." Ekene's heart beat fast, but his face stayed calm. "Sir," he said, "I will never bring shame to your family. I care for Anita with my life." The chief leaned forward. "Words are easy. Actions will tell." "I understand, sir," Ekene replied. Chief Odogwu watched him for a long moment. "Go back to work," he said at last. As Ekene left, the chief turned to the window. He saw a shadow move near the far gate, just for a second. Was someone listening? His chest felt heavy. "I must keep my eyes open," he thought. News spread fast through Onitsha. "Chief Odogwu's daughter will marry his driver," people whispered in the markets. Some women laughed. "A driver? After all her travels abroad?" Men shook their heads. "Maybe the driver has secret power," one said. But Anita did not care. She smiled when the tailor brought her golden dress. Ekene also kept calm, though some of his friends warned him. "People will talk," his friend Chuka said. "Let them talk," Ekene replied. "I know what I feel for her." The wedding day came. The hall shone with lights. Chiefs and traders filled the seats. Drummers beat their drums loud. Anita walked in with her father. Chief Odogwu held her hand tight. He looked around the hall as if searching for danger. Twice he thought he saw a strange man near the door, but when he blinked, the man was gone. The pastor spoke the vows. "Ekene, do you promise to love Anita?" "I do," Ekene said. "Anita, do you promise to love Ekene?" "I do," she answered, her voice clear. The crowd clapped and cheered. Dancers played their drums louder. During the feast, Chief Odogwu whispered to his head guard, "Watch the gate." "I feel eyes on us." Ekene and Anita danced with joy, their smiles bright under the lights. For the first time in many years, Anita felt safe and truly loved. But outside the hall, behind the tall fence, a dark figure stood still, watching. After the wedding, Ekene started work in the big office. "Sir, I studied business management in school," he told Chief Odogwu. "I can help the company grow." Chief Odogwu raised his brow. "You? Show me what you can do." Ekene brought in new computers. He made a new plan for drivers and buses. He taught the workers how to keep good records. Soon the buses moved on time and made more money. One morning, the company cashier ran in with the weekly report. "Chief, profit has doubled," he said. Chief Odogwu smiled wide. He called his old friends to brag. "Never look down on any man," he told them. "This driver has turned my company into gold." Anita watched Ekene with pride. At dinner she said, "I knew you were special." Ekene held her hand. "I just want us to have a good life," he said. The days looked bright. Everyone in Onitsha talked about the company's new success. But some nights, when the office was quiet, Ekene stayed late typing on his phone. He never told Anita what he typed. That night, the moon was full. Anita woke and found the bed empty. She stepped to the balcony door and froze. Ekene stood there, phone to his ear, his voice low and cold. "Yes," he said, "everything is ready. Chief trusts me completely. Tomorrow night." No mistakes. Anita's chest tightened. "Chief?" Her father. She pressed her palm to her lips to stop a gasp. A deep voice rumbled from the phone, too faint to catch, but dangerous enough. Ekene nodded. "Once it's done, nothing can stop us." Anita staggered back, her heart pounding. Us? Who is he working with? A moment later, Ekene walked in, his smile warm as always. "You're awake," he whispered. "Couldn't sleep?" I just needed water," Anita said, forcing a weak smile. He kissed her forehead. "Go back to bed." Everything is fine, but Anita lay in the dark with eyes wide open. Her protector, her husband, the man she trusted with her heart. Was he planning to destroy her father? Or worse, the twist begins. Anita thought she married her savior, but what if she has been sleeping beside her enemy all along? What do you think Ekene is hiding? Is he working with Unama? Or does he have a darker secret no one saw coming? Drop your guesses in the comments. The truth will shock you in the next episode.